Hey everybody, and welcome back to Lindsay's Little Library. I feel like my hair is too high to fit in the frame today. Whatever. All right, so it's BookList Thursday. BookList Thursday is something I do with Sarah over at Sarah's Nightstand. We come to you every Thursday with some sort of book thoughts, ideas, recommendations, something bookish related. So today's topic is overhyped books. So books that aren't necessarily bad. We just think they're overhyped. The hype is a little bit more than maybe what the book delivered for us. So I have 5 books that I've read somewhat recently. 4 of them I actually finished, 1 I did not finish. So could be wrong about it, but I'm pretty sure I'm not. Let's start with that one, all right? The one book that I didn't finish that I think is overhyped is Crying in Hmart. Like, I already got rid of the book. We picked this as a book for one of my book clubs, the one that I have at work, as a kind of look into the Asian American culture and life, following our main character, whose name of course slips out of my head right now, as she is working through a lot of grief and a lot of family issues at the time. So I was looking for some like really deep thoughts, and all I got was a lot of food. Lots of food. That's all we talked about was food. So I stopped reading it about 75-ish pages in or so, and just never really went back to it. So it wasn't totally worth the hype. I was expecting funny and witty and yet a bit heartbreaking, and all it really talked about was food, which I mean, I love food. Definitely love food. Just that was a lot in a book. Next one I want to talk about, please don't come at me, I think was a little overhyped, is The Golden Couple by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Buchanan. It's still a fine book. It's just, I don't understand. I'm having a hard time seeing how it's like fantastic. I'm not seeing the fantastic part of it. So this follows a couple who's going through some not so great times. That's Marissa and Matthew Bishop, and they seek out the help of Avery Chambers, who is a therapist. A little unconventional. She has a 10-step program that she puts them through, and you start to kind of learn some secrets and some reasons why people are the way they are. I did listen to this book. It was fine. It didn't blow me away, so I didn't understand really the big hype around it. So it's fine. Next book I want to talk about is Apples Never Fall by Liane Moriarty. Another book that I listened to that was fine. I think Liane Moriarty and I we might be on the outs. Absolutely love her Big Little Lies and The Husband's Secret and What Alice Forgot. A lot of her early work I really like, but her recent book, Apples Never Fall, really fell really short. Wasn't understanding the hype around it and how a lot of people were loving it. I kind of found it a little boring. So it follows a family there's 3 children and they're like tennis stars. This whole family tennis revolves around everything, or no, everything revolves around tennis. That's it. And so we're trying to figure out why the mom has suddenly disappeared and kind of what has happened to her. There's some suspicions about the father, but it didn't get super like deep into the mystery. It just was a whole lot of family drama, and I was expecting a little bit more mystery, so not quite worth the hype. It was fine. Actually, just pass. There's something better. Like, don't even worry about that. The next one I want to talk about is a recent read, and it's a recent release that I know I got super hyped up over, and the more I kept seeing things and hearing what people were thinking, I feel like the hype was out there, was Hyde. So I'm taking full responsibility that I totally overhyped this book. This is by Kiersten White. It's her first adult fiction. She specializes in YA, or mainly writes YA. And so this takes place in a rundown, abandoned amusement park. And there is kind of a competition of stay hidden, and if you're found, you lose. There's so much potential for this book. Still a fine read. Like, I still enjoyed it. There's still some creepy parts, could have been more, but not quite what it could have been. Not quite the hype that I totally put into this book. And I feel bad. But not really, not fantastic. Still worth a read, but don't go in with like high expectations of this being a super creepy book. Let's see, the last one I have is What's Mine Is Yours, and I just talked about this not that long ago. This one was hyped as a really great look into diversity and how people from different backgrounds can really come together and have really great friendships, and it to me was not that. So it is supposed to follow these two teenagers who meet in high school after their high school is kind of boundaries are changed, and so it becomes a much more diverse student body. And so it is a Black young man with a white young woman who they come together through, I think they're in a play or something about directing or going out for the play, something about a play. And so I was thinking, expecting and hearing that it follows their friendship, but it really doesn't. I feel like there was way more emphasis put on the families and what they went through, and just didn't hit the mark. I didn't think it was, I've read much better books that give me what I was looking for, or what I was told was in this book. So not that great. I mean, if you want to check it out, I hate to tell people not to, but maybe skip it. There's other options. So of these, I would still say It's the Height is still worth reading. The Golden Couple is still worth reading. The other one, you can kind of pass on those. Not really worth the hype. So those were my overhyped books. And that's all I could think of. I mean, there's more, but these were more like the recent ones that I read. Thankfully, I don't read a whole ton of overhyped books that don't necessarily hit my expectations, so that's good. Head over to Sarah's channel and see what books she has picked for overhyped books. Otherwise, leave a comment below if there's any books you've read recently that just don't really seem worth the hype. Otherwise, like, comment, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. And I'll see you later. Bye.